Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hopping. Today going down the British lane again, but this time with more of a macro beer. But one that's very historic and one I never tried. This was one that was all the rage on early beer tube and never got to review it. But we're doing it today because I bought this on a foreign grocer web shop from the Netherlands called Kelly's Expat Groceries, which is like American and English goods. And they have a pretty big selection of like English beers that I haven't tried in a while, but all of them are like big brand stuff. But they would be fun to revisit, so I thought I should, and some of which I never tried. I think maybe the only of the big names there I had was John Smith's, which I had on draft when I was in the UK for the first time back in or maybe the second time in 2010 or something like that. But I never tried this one, Boddington's Draft Bitter, or Boddingtons. And I think in the US it was called Boddington's Pub Ale. So never had this one, EST 1778. Very, very old brewery. But this brewery does not exist anymore. It's a brand that is licensed by Budweiser. AB-Inbev, Anheuser-Busch. And it says it's brewed in the UK by AB-Inbev UK Limited. And I'm not sure who makes the AB-Inbev beers in the UK at the moment. But this is a bitter, but with nitro, so draft bitter, and it's what they call it. And it's, of course, going into the fame of all the nitro beers. I think it's been around for a very long time. The original nitro canned beer was Guinness, and this uses Guinness technology with the widget. You can pay to use that technology, actually. Anyone can, I think. But you can also use the technology invented by Left Hand in the US, which is apparently free. You just buy the can with the widget. Where it's in the bottom. And what you need is agitation to agitate the nitrogen to perform the head and all it does. So 3.4%, piss served chilled, pour into a large glass and one smooth action, which I did. Water, barley malt, maize, barley, and hops. So maize, interesting. I did not expect that to be in here. This contains a pressurized widget. Do not tamper with even when empty. Because people probably cut themselves or some stupid things like that. Smooth and creamy Boddington's Draft Bitter. What's interesting about this is because it's a very historic brewery originally, and one of the most used English ale yeasts come from this brewery. The famous SO4 and all the varieties that are spawned from that is supposedly the Boddington's ale yeast. It's a very clean English ale yeast, but you can get a bit of esters. It's one of my least favorite yeasts, so it doesn't bode well for me. Contrary to the cousin from Fermentis USO5, which I love, which is a Chico variant, SO4 has never sat that well with me. I think it can work well if you use it in conjunction with other things, and I don't mind it. But on its own, I've just never been a big fan. But let's see how it is, in this format. In Boddington's supposedly original beer featuring this yeast. So pours a golden color in the glass, slightly copper colored. Looks like a very lighter colored bitter. And I think this is maybe a traditional stroke ordinary bitter because it's 3.4%. I think the cutoff with best bitter is around 4. And then after best bitter, we get ESB. So, and very still, no fizzy carbonation because of the nitro, but it does have a nice creamy head that was a bit more creamy when I just poured it out, but it still looks nice in the glass. Let's check out the aroma on this one. Yeah, it smells undeniably macro. It's just like a little bit of sweet, bready, English maltiness. I'm not even sure it's if it's Maris Otter or something. It's just a little bit more rustic than a German base malt or something like that. And then there's a soft undercurrent of stewed fruit and nutty, grassy hop notes. But the last best bitter though, I had was Sussex Best from Harvey's. And just the aroma alone was a massive knockout. But I think I'm gonna enjoy this. I've had a crazy long day, so I might like it more than the aroma indicates. But let's try it. Cheers. Wow. That's the epitome of boring. Wow, this is so lifeless compared to Harvey's. Holy shit. It's so fun to try these after trying like really high class English beer. It's just like, I'm sorry, AB-Inbev, you ain't got shit. You ain't got shit. And I think John Smith's is also a big brand. I don't know who owns that, but you have that to try as well, which is pretty much the same thing. Wow. If this is your first best bitter, I think you're going to be like, I mean, it's just so devoid of character. It's very, very plain and timid. And it's so weird. It's creamy yet watery. It has the same mouthfeel of like a Guinness. It's just low ABV. But I mean, it's a refreshing cold drink. It's okay. It has a beer taste. But flavor-wise, it's very mild and timid. It's like a slightly more rich malt character than a normal beer. You can taste it's an ale because it's got more of that stewed fruitiness, but it's like super, super light. It has a little bit of a sweet corn syrup, maybe not corn syrup, but a sweet like malt syrup or some malt extract type flavor, like a sweetness, just a little bit. And then it's like lightly bitter, but it's bitter, which is nice. Perfumey, nettly, hop character with some stewed fruit, but everything is like, calm down. Don't be too much. Don't offend anyone. Be light, be easy, complex. It's like, it's almost like the equivalent of drinking because we were talking Budweiser. If you have like a lager that's great, and then you have a Bud Light, and you're like, the joke, the classic age-old joke, American beer is like having sex in a canoe. It's fucking close to water. I mean, this feels like that, just the base beer is bitter. So I wouldn't say it's a recommend. Well, if you never tried it, I think it's a recommendation just to tick it. But it's probably not something I'd return to. On the only reason I would probably drink this, I think, now that I know, in general where to go. I think I have the Wharf. I can go and have cask bitters there. That's just going to be much better. This would be like a party. Someone offered me this, or if I was at a bar, some beers in, and this was the round, I would drink it. I'd happily drink it. It's not be like, it tastes bad. It's just like the epitome of boring. So what do we score the epitome of boring? I think a 70, because I also don't want to go too low, just because, it's not bad. It's just like, you're not failed, but you're certainly not a high passing grade either. Like, it's still past beer, but it's just hanging in there. Like, but I slammed over half the can in this video because it's just so easygoing and drinkable. Yeah. It's nice because it's wet, it's cold, and it's a beer after a long day at work. So, Boddington's Draft Bitter, check it out on your own merits. It's not something you should seek out, I guess. But seek out Anspech and Hop Days. Best Ordinary Bitter, I think it's called, which is on Nitro. And just their Nitro beers in general. I think they're one of the best purveyors, if not the best purveyor of Nitro beer in Europe. And it'd be so fun to see them do even more. Like, their fucking porter, London Black, is an absolute creamer. I love that beer. So, if you guys at Boddington's Draft, let me know what you thought of it. As always, please comment, subscribe to the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notification about videos. And I will say cheers in some classic English beer of the macro variety, and see you guys in another beer review.